Hey YouTube, Pierce Asian here. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing video of my new Apple Watch Series 3. Now, the Apple Watch Series 3 was officially made available to all the Apple stores and most online orders on September 22nd, but because I am up in Canada and the fact that we've had some pretty bad weather events down in the United States, that this package was delayed. Now, I actually went to the Apple store the other day, and of course, they didn't have any in stock. So I'm actually very lucky that I even have a watch right now, but that's because I pre-ordered right away. Okay, so this is how the Apple Watch Series 3 comes packaged. And of course, in the Apple fashion of how they pack things, it's very well packed with these nice styrofoam blocks. And of course, the Series 3 box looks like it's about 13 and a half inches by maybe 3 inches wide by 2.5 inches tall, roughly. And of course, it comes in the nice, sleek, minimalist white Apple box. It says Series 3 here. Well wrapped, well packaged. Shocker, really. Okay, so I just put in a small slit here, and I don't want to damage the box because it seems to be that when you sell Apple products on the used market, that having a pristine condition package with your product seems to always demand a higher resale value. So I'm going to go ahead and undo the plastic wrap. Okay, so now that we've got it all unwrapped, let's crack it open and take a look at what's inside. So what's really neat about the Series 3, I mean, these are just little subtle details that I take notice, is that, you know, the boxes from Apple are always well made, and it's always a pleasure to open, but they actually have the word watch embossed into the box. Like, you can actually feel it. And the Series 3, at least for sure on the LTE edition, which is the one I bought, it even has the Series 3 in a metallic red print. So it's quite classy to even look at, as much as weird as that might sound. Let's crack this open. So, shocker, they've got the information pamphlet on the top with our corresponding lift tab. And I'm assuming inside of this package is instructions in many languages, as well as likely the spare band to accommodate for different wrist sizes. Here's the Apple Watch. So the one I personally bought for myself is in fact the what they call gold aluminum for 2017 with a pink sand band. And so really gold aluminum is a slight variation from last year's rose gold. They don't call it gold, but they don't call it rose gold, but just gold aluminum. And it's actually a mix. It has almost a more of a coppery orange undertone than it did pink, like last year's Series 2. But here it is. It's a 38mm watch face. It's got the nice pink sand color band, and I just like being different. I think it's a very classy color that goes well with my rose gold iPhone. And not surprisingly, the watch band is made from the fluorocarbon elastomer material that Apple claims is better than silicone. It's got a more soft tactile feel to it, and it does feel very high quality, I won't lie. And of course, it's got the corresponding sort of lift tabs to take it over the package nice and neat. You got instructions on the back telling you how to attach the watch bands. And well, yeah, that's pretty much it. You've got your side button here as well as your digital crown. Now, it is worth mentioning that on the LTE cellular enabled editions, they come with a red crown, whereas the non-LTE versions is just the standard colored crown that matches the watch body. I bought the LTE edition because it contains 16 gigs of built-in storage versus 8 on the non-LTE edition. Other things to note is that on the bands that ship with the watch from the factory, if you bought a rose gold or brushed or gold aluminum watch, that the pin on the bands will match your watch. Whereas if you were to buy a replacement band from the Apple Store in the same exact color, that this pin is actually polished stainless steel. So it's not as nice as the original one. I mean, I don't really know why Apple doesn't sell replacement bands with the matching pins. They should almost come with a separate piece if you could make it available. So Series 3, 0.25mm thicker than the Series 2, but with a lot more horsepower. Inside the packaging here, there's another lift tab, which I'm assuming will expose the charger. And there it is. And what's included is what appears to be a standard iPhone USB charger, likely a 1 amp. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it's a 1 amp charger, like your iPhone, so you don't even have to open this if you don't need to. As well as the magnetic charging cable with the neat little pull tab bundle holder. It's even all coated in plastic to prevent scratching. Like, it's just nice details in the Apple packaging. So we'll put that in. Let's check out what's inside our packaging here. We'll just kind of pour this out. So Apple Watch. Bunch of instructions. This one looks like it's in French because we're in Canada. This one's in Spanish, and I believe this last one is likely going to be in English. Yeah, and it is. So here it is, Apple Watch. It kind of shows you sort of swipe up, swipe down, swipe left, press firmly on screen, press and hold for power on off, digital crown, turn to zoom, press various buttons to do different functions, as well as the various sensors, as well as the magnetic charging cable attachment. So I guess since I've got the watch out, I may as well unwrap it. And of course, Apple has little tabs here telling you where to pull to undo the protection film. Bear with me, guys, because I'm really doing this all one-handed. Now I suggest anyone with Apple products that they retain all the packaging material should you ever decide to resell this stuff, because apparently when you retain all your packaging material, it retains its value better. So I've observed anyways. Just place that back in the box. And there you have it. Series 3, written right on the back, 38mm LTE. Ceramic back, by the way, versus composite. So on the non-LTE edition, this back is actually a composite material, but it actually clearly states here ceramic back LTE, which is also another subtle difference between the LTE and non-LTE editions. So next order of business here is I'm going to actually change the band on my watch, because this is a small band and I have a slightly larger wrist, so I'm going to swap it out with the included large size band. So we're going to pull that out of the packaging, make sure on the back it says medium large versus the small medium. And to take that out, we're just going to press down on this little button and slide this out. Once we remove it, just slide straight out towards you with the digital crown facing you is how I did mine. And we're just going to take our new band, get it started into the groove, and then make sure it's straight and slide in until it clicks, and then just give it a wiggle to make sure it's in place. Of course, I pressed the power button when I was inserting that, so it's booting up. And apparently on the Apple Watch Series 3, it's got a 70% faster CPU than previous generations, which that's a big deal. It same amount of battery life, same form factor, more capabilities, faster processor. That's nothing short of impressive. So when you turn it on, it says Apple Watch and iPhone. So I'm assuming we need to pair it, which I will guess won't be able to show you in this video because I'm using an iPhone to actually record this video. Let's also undo our cables. And we can do this by pulling carefully on this tear tab. Which will then allow you to open this up and pull the charger out of its packaging. Okay, so this is what the charge cable looks like once it's been removed from this sort of fancy packaging that acts as a cable wrap and sort of a, well, packaging holder, so to speak, on this charge cable. And what's really neat is that how the factory actually wrapped this magnetic charging cable. It actually had a single unified piece of protective plastic that not only covered the bottom side, and the top side of this magnetic charging cable, but also the perimeter using one single piece of protective tape. And I wish I had someone holding this camera for me, showing how I undid this, because it was quite interesting. Because as you peeled off the film, then you kind of wrap it around and then peel off the other side. It was really cool. So anyways, on the magnetic charger, you've got two sides. You've got the flat side, and then you've got the other side that's got a slight curve to it. And the idea behind which side to use is, well, if you look on the back of an Apple Watch, you can see the part that contacts your wrist has a slight dome to it. That dome actually fits perfectly onto that magnetic charging cable. And so the battery, at least on my watch, came with a over 90% charge from the factory. So that's actually why I am going to just start using my watch and not worry about charging it for a few hours. So after I did the unboxing, I took the liberty to quickly set up this watch with my iPhone. And it took a little while for the Apple Watch equivalent apps to get installed onto the watch. An interesting thing I learned about the Apple Watch Series 3, or I guess Apple Watch in general for that matter, is that you'll notice here that the watch comes up and then there's a little padlock above the clock, and then it says enter password. I didn't know that apparently you can set this watch up where it prompts you for a passcode should you ever remove the watch from your wrist. And I suspect it does so by not detecting a heart rate and then detecting a heart rate, which basically means you have removed the watch and the person that put the watch back on may not always be you. And to protect your data as well as to protect your hardware from theft, that it needs a passcode to unlock it. Now, you don't have to keep entering this passcode in if the watch stays on your wrist. That makes a lot of sense. But it's a great theft deterrent and it's a good security block to protect your data. So that concludes the unboxing video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel to stay apprised of all things technology related and DIY. Thanks for watching.